What is going on, folks? It's been a while. I apologize. I've been on a little bit of a hiatus chasing deer down here in South Alabama for quite a bit. We just finally had the rut kick off about a week ago. Yes, we have to wait until late January or early February. A lot of you get your kicks in November, which I'm super jealous of. Nevertheless, I did hook up with one. Took out one of my target bucks this past Friday. If you go to Instagram, you can see this and follow more of my day-to-day content. So go check me out. I'm s.g.holmes. Again, you can follow along on my day-to-day stuff. You can reach out, DM me. That's where usually I'm the most accessible. If you have any questions or just want to reach out and say, hey, I'd love to hear from you. But that's not what today is about. Today is about releases. I've been on a little bit of a release journey. Those of you that have kept up with me know that usually the Carter Wise Choice is my release of choice for the most part. I usually shoot it coupled with a True Ball HBC hinge release. Again, my practice sessions, I start with a hinge, have a few shots with the hinge, and then I go to my thumb button. It kind of keeps me honest, and usually I shoot that hinge with no click. That way, really it's a surprise shot. I've had a lot of good times with this release. We go back and we've done some great things, but the only complaint that I've had really with it is the adjustability of this release. I mean, you have a thumb barrel that swivels and you can get a little bit of movement out of that. However, I don't have the biggest paws out there, but typically the hand position on the thumb, I get by with it. It's been great, but that would really be my only gripe. In comes the UV button. This release has a good amount of adjustability. You can adjust the thumb peg, and then there's also a bar that will kind of move. You can extend it out, extend it in, you can move it back, move it a little bit forward. Really love the adjustability of that. And that's, something that, has always been something. I guess you don't know you miss it until you have something that does that, and this release really does that. And just a minute ago, I just talked about having my True Ball match up with my Wise Choice, and that's why I use those. Is the neck on them are essentially pretty even. That way you're not really changing anchor points, or your D loop is you don't need to move it or anything like that, or make any adjustments. The other cool thing about this is the hinge, and this is the UV hinge 2. Been shooting this for a while. Love this hinge. It matches up perfectly. I mean, that system, as I talked about, I go start every session with a few arrows with my hinge, no click, and then I go to my thumb button and I have a great session. I really like the interchangeability. I don't have to worry about different anchor points or having to make adjustments for that. They just automatically match, which is a huge plus. So the adjustability, it does match up with my preferred hinge at the moment, and also just the fit. So this is the medium. I don't think they have a large out yet, but I've heard they're working on it. It fits my hand just perfect. Again, as I said, I don't have big paws like some guys out there, but the fit and the feel of this is just amazing. Some of the extras, the finish on this is this kind of powder, I'd say, coated type of finish, whereas the Wise Choice is slippery, it's slick. This finish is just really nice feeling. You feel like you have a positive contact with the release. Same with the thumb barrel. The thumb barrel, the knurling on the thumb barrel, I do like a bigger thumb barrel, and the knurling that they've done on this really digs into your thumb. You get that good positive contact that I like, and it just makes you feel overall very confident when you're drawing back and you're trying to pull off a shot. So in addition, I love the D loop retention system. So the way it works is you cock the release, you hear how quiet that is. That's pretty nice. Whereas you've got the Wise Choice, it's a little louder. So once you have it cocked, there is a little lever here that you kind of slide onto your D loop, let it sit there until you're ready to rock. I love that. I think it's an excellent finish or extra that they put on that. Also, micro adjustability. You've got two different Allen screws at the top that will adjust the travel of the trigger, and then also the force of the trigger. And you can get a really good amount of force to set the trigger off, which I like. I find that when I adjust it on the heavier side of things, I get more of that pull and can kind of relax my hand and let the shot kind of go off. and it's not too touchy. So I think that is awesome. Also, it comes with a hunting bracket on there, whereas in the past, like my hinge, you had to buy this piece to put a lanyard if you want to run it on a wrist strap. This comes on that. You don't have to buy that separately, which is really awesome. It also comes in 2 weights. This is the aluminum version, so the lighter version of the 2, and then there's a heavier stainless version. I have not played with the stainless version, but to be honest, this aluminum version is a perfect weight, at least for me. It's also $50 cheaper. So this version is $300. The stainless version is $350. But you know, either way, I don't think you can go wrong. I know a lot of guys that are using the stainless version that really like it. I just don't see a need for the additional weight personally, but that's just personal preference. You know, I think I would say, you know, my recommendation is if you have a hinge and you want to pair it up and have kind of a system, this aluminum, I would go with aluminum. If you're stainless, go stainless. And that way you're kind of, you know, mimicking similar weights and feels between the 2 releases. So the question, I guess, is, did it dethrone my beloved Wise Choice? Yes, it did. In fact, I will be picking up a second one. Again, handhelds, I think 2 is 1. You throw 1 in the pack, and you have 1, you know, that you kind of hunt with or whatever else in case you lose one. It does happen. They do hurt to lose because they are pretty pricey compared to like an index release or something like that. But I'm gonna pick up another one. I've you know, used this for a couple months now. Took my my last buck, like I said, you know, last week with it, and just flawless. I haven't looked back since. I might hold this on for hold on to this for nostalgia reasons, but you may hawk it to help fund a second release. But overall, really happy with this release. If you're on the fence about it, I would say just do it. Give it a shot. You know, I've not seen too many complaints or bad reviews on this release, and there's a reason for that. So again, thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Again, apologies for taking a while to get some more more content out to you. And as always, please like, please subscribe. Go follow me on Instagram, s.g.holmes. I'd love to interact with you. And if you're still hunting this year, I hope you have some good luck. I guess that's mostly my Alabama folks that are still out in the woods. Good luck to everybody. And remember, aim small, miss small.